Hello, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? It's your boy Izzo33. Welcome you to our World's Pick'ems for 2020. We're covering the group stages for the first bit, and it's interesting to find out the actual rewards that you get for completing this. And you look at these prizes. Grand prize is an ultimate skin, these nice little icons. You get also a bit of blue essence, a quarterfinals Pick'ems random champ shard, semi-finals orange essence, and a hextech chest and key for the grand finals. What's more, if you get a perfect pick, you get entered into this lovely little draw here for an Alienware PC. So without further ado, let us jump into today's predictions, where we're going to decide who makes it out of groups. So this is the order of the groups as we can see. It's pretty standard for me. I had a bit of a issue with recording earlier, so I kind of fixed it. I put it back a little, and as a whole, this is my Group A predictions. G2 finishing the group first, unless they Hakuna Matata down the mid in every single game they play. I'd expect them to be first. They may drop a game to Team Liquid. It's kind of hard to tell if they will, but realistically, I expect G2 to win the group and actually do well at Worlds this year in comparison to the other LEC teams. As for Team Liquid, they had a phenomenal Plains group run. They looked very clean. Mr. Broxer was very, very good. I'm not going to deny how good of a jungler he is, and he was phenomenal for Team Liquid in the series and games that he played during play-ins. As for the other two teams, Sunning and Machi, to me, this is a toss-up. I think Sunning will do better than Machi, in my opinion, when they face off on, I do believe, they face off on the last day, on Tuesday, as the second game of the day. And realistically, this matchup, I think Sunning will beat Machi, so that's why I've got them ahead of Machi in my actual predictions here. As for Group B, this one is a group of death. And immediately when I looked at this group, I put PSG right down to the bottom. That is a standard. PSG have had a phenomenal playing run. They were the best team, or the shock team at the playing stages, and the reason being was they were playing with 3 substitutes for all the group games, 2 in the actual knockout stages, the tiebreaker they played, and realistically, they're a squad that's coming into the world's group stages with their summer split squad, and to me, when you haven't had the same amount of practice with this lineup that other teams have had, it's very hard for me to put them more than 4th. Honestly, I expect PSG to either be the surprise story of the group stages and do decently, but realistically, you cannot put too much hope on this squad after the changes that have had to happen coming into groups. Moving up, we have Rogue in my 3rd spot. I just think this is a slaughter group for the LEC, no matter which team that went into it. I'm pretty sure if Fnatic went into there, that would have been yikes. But realistically, looking at this group, JD, I expect to win it. They're slightly better than Damwon, even though Damwon are a strong squad. In fact, no, I think Damwon's winning the group. Sorry, I put that in the wrong order. I think Damwon's winning the group. Damwon just tore up their region. JD, close second, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan on them. They're not my buzz team to win Worlds. I've got a couple of buzz teams to win Worlds, and it's not JD. I expect Damwon to win the group, as they're just a phenomenal squad. They tore up their region. As for Group C, I didn't finish moving everyone here, but Group C is a very tough group to predict. It's a group of floating teams, in my opinion. They're the this is probably the easiest group. If you had, say, Dan1 in it, Dan1 would easily win it. If you had G2 in it, G2 would easily win it. Top, if they were in it, they'd win it. But realistically, you look at this group, you got TSM, first seed from NA. NA has actually turned up to Worlds this year and have looked fairly strong from Team Liquid's response through play-ins. So I want to say TSM finish either second or first in their group. Fnatic, on their summer split kind of run, I'm not sure that they can do good in best of ones here. Yes, they try-harded towards the end of the split and actually made playoffs and put G2 into the lower bracket in best of fives. But spoiler alert, best of ones do not equal best of fives. And that's an importance into why I'm putting LGD down and putting LGD as my fourth spot in groups. LGD are a best of five team. Their style is very calculated. They adapt extremely well. They play it by the numbers. It's low kill games in the play-ins. They didn't get too many kills, and I watched all their games, and I even did a full cast of one of their games, and I just didn't get to talk too much about team fighting because it was just either getting a pick off on the side, which is something they're phenomenal at doing, or the one or two team fights they had, whoever they were playing just did not go towards the objective. I think it was R7, and they just stayed away and didn't go to contest. So realistically, if you put some pressure onto this LGD squad, pressurize their team fighting skills, I think the teams in this group, you've got TSM, you've got phenomenal players there that can essentially put LGD behind and realistically keep them behind. That's how I feel about LGD at the moment. Fnatic, they're not a best of one squad in my opinion. They're a best of five squad. Against good opposition, they will put you to the limit. That being said, I'm thinking about Gen G. Gen G, to me, it could either finish there, or there. And to me, I want to say that Fnatic may upset them. TSM, I would love to say that they win groups, but no, they won't. I think Gen G are probably going to finish in second, and TSM win. Or Gen G are going to win and TSM second. That's my honest and brutal prediction. I don't think the LEC is going to get many teams into the knockout stages of Worlds this year. And realistically, it's going to have to come down to the hands of G2 to do well. That being said, TSM, in my opinion, could do well in this group. That's their sort of group to win. And realistically, I'm going to say it. That's my prediction. If not, it's that. And I'm going to stick with this. TSM just have the quality of players. Speaker, it's entering his first Worlds ever. And he entered through the play-ins, not the play-ins, TSM through their playoffs. Looked good with Speaker. Speaker improved considerably from his summer split form. And he was probably my standout player from the LCS's playoffs for the jungle role. Now, Group D, I'm pretty sure this group can be decided in about 2 movements. So, here we go. 1, 2. That's my Group D prediction. Top Esports topping the group. They're phenomenal. They're a great squad. They finished their split phenomenally. They have probably the best mid laner coming into Worlds. In this group, they probably have the best mid laner as well. Looking at the rest of the teams in this group, I can expect the Unicorns of Love and FlyQuest game to be very scrappy, and that will decide their actual placement in the groups. Because FlyQuest of Power of Evil, he's a phenomenal mid laner who will just play about anything. He was the guy that brought the Swain into NA. He's brought phenomenally big and random picks into this lineup. And with Ignar as well in the bot lane, who's considerably aggressive. And the Unicorns of Love, who have a very aggressive style, who has Gadget, who's played the Swain himself. you have to realize you've got two Swain players going up against each other. Wild Turtle, very aggressive ADC, though I expect that matchup to be actually incredibly insane. So that's why I've gone and put FlyQuest in third, Unicorns of Love in fourth. I don't think them two squads can challenge the Chinese or the Korean teams in DRX and top. But as a whole, DRX and top are my other two favourites at winning Worlds. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame they got put in the same group. But realistically, top should win this group. DRX should finish second. And then we get into the quarters, or the knockout stages, which we can't predict yet, but we go over to this, we can't even see the actual bracket of how it would go. But realistically, this is my predictions. It's a bit bold. I know this one is probably the most bold of my actual predictions, but realistically, you could either go with that. It's a very up in the air group, and LGD, in my opinion, could even finish top. This is probably their best group at finishing top in terms of the competition they have to face, but I've got to base it off of best of one form, and Gen.G and TSM are the two best of one form teams. And I've got a feeling when I'm on my Twitter at izlogic.business, if you want to follow it, I've got a feeling that when I'm tweeting about TSM in their games, I'm going to have to say, don't give Bjergsen Zillion. I've got a feeling that tweet's coming out once in a while at Worlds here, because that Zillion pick is just phenomenal, and I don't know how people can counter that pick. I don't even know if he's ever played at Worlds. That'd be an interesting stat for me to check, because I know TSM missed Worlds for 2 years in a row. I don't know if he's played it before then, because realistically the Zillion pick has been more well known to him than in the past 2 years than it has before then. So realistically, it's going to be quite hard to predict the knockout stages, because there's going to be some tough matches, I know, because it'll be first versus seconds from different groups. And looking at the groups that the top 2 seeds that I've put through for each kind of group here, TSM Gen.G, DRX and top, Damwon and JD, and G2 and Team Liquid. You've got in there 3 Western teams. You've got in there pretty much all of the Korean teams. Not all of the Chinese teams, because they have 4 seeds, which is dirty, I'll be honest. And realistically, I've got to say that this Worlds is probably the closest and hardest to predict yet. And as such, I'm taking I took my time to actually think about this. And I don't know if when this will go out, or when the other video, which predicts my week 1 results for group stages, comes out. So essentially, my predictions for week 1 base off of this. So without further ado, I think it's time we end this video out. If you enjoyed it, leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new here if you want to, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.